Hey everyone, welcome back to Decode My Life. I'm Christy, life coach and decoder, and I'm here to help people look at all sides of their lives. Most of us just focus on the physical or this side of our life when in fact we have an emotional side, a mental side, a spiritual side, or the other side. These factors play a far bigger role in our lives that very few of us understand, so I'm here to help. Today, I want to take a deep dive into a karmic game called Passive Aggressive Sloth Busybee. If you need a quick refresher in karma, you can hop over to my video, Five Signs You're in Karma, get caught up, and then come back here, and this game will make a lot more sense. So, real quick, karmic games exist in quadrants. Four is the foundation of this reality. We have a physical body, emotional body, a mental body, and a spiritual body. Karma is the same way. There are two sets of duality games that make up one karmic wheel. So let's take a look at the first game in this karmic wheel, passive aggressive.
So, the definition of being passive is accepting or allowing what happens or what others do without an active response or resistance. Aggressive is defined as ready or likely to attack or confront, characterized by the results from aggression.
So passive behavior basically involves in saying nothing in response, keeping their feelings to themselves or hiding their feelings. They typically allow others to violate their personal rights due to maybe avoiding the problem situation or lack of confidence. Someone that has an aggressive behavior basically involves expressing their feelings indirectly in a sarcastic way, insulting way, put downs, or hostile statements or actions. Most who show aggression behaviors tend to use intimidation or attacks that violate other people's personal rights. Most of the time, it's to take control or win them over. Now, neither of these behaviors are healthy. What you actually want to get to is a balance or be assertive, which basically emulates behavior where you describe your feelings, your thoughts, your opinions, and your preferences directly with another person in an honest or appropriate way that respects both parties. So now let's take a look at the second game in this karmic wheel, Busy Bee Sloth.
The definition of a sloth is someone who is reluctant to work or make any effort, or in other words, is extremely lazy, one of the seven deadly sins. A busy bee is a person who is constantly in motion, like a bee, the hardest working animal on earth.
Sloth and busy bee karma can occur in degrees and can take place in different areas of life. So you could be a busy bee at work, but then when you get home, you could be a couch potato. In today's society, it's become valued to be busy. Has become the new norm. Busy means that you're doing something important or valuable, whether you're doing it or not. So in the 1950s, kids used to go to school, have a little bit of homework, and then would have the rest of the evening to go play. Nowadays, kids go to school, have a huge amount of homework, and then usually their parents have them scheduled in a vast majority of activities without having any downtime because their kid has to constantly be seen as valuable and busy based off of what society deems valuable. Now, let's take a look at an example of someone that was playing the passive aggressive busy bee sloth karmic game. I was recently working with someone and she was in healthcare, she was a nurse. And so some days she would work up to 16 hours. She just had her fourth kid and she was thinking about doing a side business. Now, that is a very busy person. Now, when I looked at the relationship between her and her husband, you can see that she was playing busy bee and he was playing sloth between each other. So what I did was I looked at their first incarnation with each other, and it went back to this time that they were royalty in France in around the 1600s, and she was a duchess and he was a duke, and basically he was doing all the hard work to keep up the house and their lifestyle and the family, and she was just basically took advantage of her title and was very lazy. Therefore, they created karmic debt between each other, not having a balance, basically because they weren't being balanced between the responsibilities and duties they were doing. She was also very aggressive in that lifetime. When anyone communicated to her on any of her duties, she would basically insult them. So they created the karmic debt. And fast forward to this lifetime where now she's a nurse working up to 16 hours. They have four kids together and she's thinking about doing the side business. Anytime anyone would confront her on anything, she'd just be very passive in her communication and her behavior. So once I was able to help her identify the karmic game she was in, she was able to learn her lesson by playing both sides, get to neutrality, and start working on very healthy behaviors and being a little bit more assertive, and then also learning more about balance in her life. So, what do we actually do with this information? Well, the first step is just simple awareness. Start paying attention to your interactions with people, places, and things. Try to identify any karmic games you're playing with anyone, any place, or anything. Because the second step is acknowledge. Simply just acknowledge you're playing a karmic game with someone, that you've created karmic debt either in a past lifetime or current lifetime, and you need to get to neutrality and pay that debt back. The third step is to learn your lesson. At some point, you were playing both sides of the karmic games. So, what did you learn by playing both roles? And finally, the fourth step is once you learned your lesson, you can pull your karma and move on and get to neutrality. And finally, once you have pulled your karma and got to neutrality, you have to be in a constant state of awareness. There's a lot of people out there that want to play karma with you. They want to pay their karmic debt and move on as well. So be in a constant state of awareness. The goal is not to create new karma and to stay out of karma while fulfilling your karmic debt. I hope this information was helpful. If you think you're in karma or would like to learn more about karma or identify the karmic games that you're playing, I do one-to-one special karmic game consultations. So you either can go to my website, decodemylife.com, or email me. You can also leave a comment in this video if you relate to this specific karmic game and tell us about your experience in any karma that you've had.